Hey everybody, what's up? Circus coming at you with another Power Rankings video. I'm pretty excited about this one. We're doing it live on Twitch. Joining me, as always, Kamell. How you doing, buddy?
I am doing great, Circus, and what's up, Twitch chat? It is great to have you once again with us for the Power Rankings. And yeah, we got a lot to talk about this week.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We just got done doing Battle Phase 70 on Sundays, and my voice is shot. I've been yelling and screaming for about 7 hours
Power.
now.
Yep.
So we're going to get right into it. So if you're new to the video series, what we do is we track decks in tournaments throughout the week. We see how they perform, and then we assign points on how they finish. So if a deck gets a top finished first place, it gets 6 points. Second place is 4 points. If it's a top 4, it gets 2 points, and a top 8 gets a single point. This week, the tourneys we tracked were Battle Phase Monday, Battle Phase EU, Battle Phase Friday, the Pharaoh's Cash tourney, the Godic Cup, the Godic Demon Cup. He just had one come out, his first iteration of it. The God Meta Weekly, and the Meta Championship Series. Finally, back to the correct format, which...
Welcome back to
In case you guys don't know, we're only tracking 5 rounds of Swiss into a top cut. I'm sorry, rounds of Swiss into a top cut. So some are 4 rounds, some are 5, some are 6.
deck with 1 card deck, a 6-card side.
Right. So it's a very specific thing that we're tracking because some people were asking about that earlier in the week. So without further ado, here is your power rankings. Which deck is the top? People have predicted Shiranui, and they are wrong. Dark Magician in first place with 22 points.
Man. Finally, Shiranui have been dethroned from what seemed to be like a month-long reign, right? Like almost all of June throughout the end of May, Shiranui were dominating, and now Dark Magician are finally taking back the top spot.
Yep. It was a tie between Shiranui and Blackwings. Shiranui just had better tops, and we'll look at that when we get there. So
Yeah.
we'll just go right into it then. First place, Dark Magician, up 1 spot from last week. It was second place. As you can see, it got 2, 4, 6, 8 tops. It won Battle Phase EU. That was its big win for the week.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to say I can pinpoint just what happened, making Dark Magician more powerful this week, but I honestly could not tell you. Just something to say off the top. Out of the new cards that we got this week, a lot of them were played more. This week, more people probably had access to the cards. And Dark Magician actually does not have a terrible matchup against a deck like Witchcrafter or Evil
it
Eye.
doesn't.
Banishing just seems like a really big effect to have against both of those decks.
And if it sets up first, it's really hard for Witchcrafters. Or both decks, really. I mean, if it can set up first, it's fine.
And also, it looks like Dark Magician performed fairly well in the MCS, and I think that's what contributed to it taking first place. Ultimately, you can see right below it, even though we'll talk about it, Shiranui not picking up any top 8s in the MCS at all.
Yep, and a new feature we have this week is conversion rates. Now, before we get into it, it's basically what's a conversion rate? It's how many decks entered, and then how many of those decks that entered got into the top 32, and then how many of the decks that entered got into the top 8. Okay, so I tracked that this week, and only certain tournaments reported both their full breakdown and then their top 32 breakdown. Okay, so not all the tournaments are listed. It was Battle Phase Monday, Battle Phase Friday, and the MCS. And the Pharaoh's Cash tournaments. So those were the only ones.
Okay, so in terms of Dark Magician, right, you're telling me 88 Dark Magician got into the top 32?
I'll show you right now. Okay, so overall, 88 Dark Magicians were entered this week into tournaments. 21 made the top 32 for a conversion rate of 24%, and 5 of those made it into the top 8 for a conversion rate of 6%.
I see. Okay. 6%. Whoa.
Yeah.
That's pretty nuts. People talk about conversion rate this, conversion rate that. The number one deck, 6% conversion rate. That just shows you how much Dark Magician is played in tournaments. and it is the most successful deck this week with only a 6% conversion rate at the end of the day.
Yeah.
That is some jarring information.
Yeah, that's rough, isn't it? So I did that for all the decks that we'll be looking at here, and it's a little weird because like you get into Dragoonides, they have like a 75% conversion rate. It's because there's like
Dragoonity to 0, dude.
it's because like they've been played 8 times and like 7 times they made it into the top 32 or the top 8, and it's basically one guy or 2 people doing it. So it's a little screwy. I think the ones that we have are the ones that are most played, so it'll make a little bit more sense as we go. Okay, so Black Wings. I think I gave Black Wings second place. I might have had him second place on the list, but it was a tie. I might have forgotten to switch, but you'll see. I think maybe Black Wings have the better list here. We'll see.
All right, you have Black Wings as second place here. So looking at Black Wings, they are tied with Shiranui. That is pretty crazy, but it does look like Black Wings did perform fairly well in the MCS, picking up a top 4 and a top 8 placing, 2 top 4s in the PCT, and winning the Godic tournament as well. So Black Wings doing pretty good, and also in reference to new cards, Black Wings has a crazy good matchup against Witchcrafters and Evil Eyes. So they are just feasting on those new decks, and yeah, picking up a lot of high tournament placements this week.
All right, and you can see 42 times it was entered in, so 42 times it was played. 17 of those made it into the top 32, so a 40% conversion rate. That's really good, but only 4 of the 42 made it into the top 8 for a conversion rate of 10%. Obviously, we're rounding a little bit, so don't tell me.
That's better than Dark Magician. That's better than Dark Magician. 10%?
Yep, a lot better. Yeah.
10% from 40 into
Oh,
the
wait
top
till you see
cut.
Shiranui.
So even if you don't want our standards of getting into the top cut, which is top 8, right? Just the top cut conversion rate is 40%. 40% of the Black Wings played this week topped. So think about it that way as well. All right, so what do we got next, Circus?
Shiranui, third place, down 2 from last week, 17 points. And I think they performed just a little bit worse than Black Wings, so I put him in third place.
So it says here that Shiranui have 2 top 8s in Battle Phase EU over the 2 top 4s that Black Wings had in the PCT. So that's what placed them third. And Shiranui looked like they won the God tournament, 2 tops in Battle Phase Monday. But yeah, no representation of the top 8 from Shiranui in a tournament like the MCS. That says something. Do you think people are finding Shiranui weaker in certain places in tournaments? I know from what we just watched in Battle Phase Sunday that it definitely seems that could be the case.
I think MCS obviously is when the big dogs come out to play, so they're not going to be playing Shiranui as much. I think in tournaments like ours, starter tournaments, or as they've been called, lesser tournaments by some undesirable people in the community. We've always said our tournaments are great for people to learn how to play in tournaments and play games. So, yeah, you're going to see a lot more Shiranui, I think, in tournaments like ours. Definitely. So, and then the MCS, you're going to see people trying to find the spice, trying a little bit different. That's why you saw Ritual Beast do so well. People weren't expecting, especially Shadow Game Ritual Beast. So,
right.
And then we'll get to the conversion rate here. There we go. Overall, 78 decks played. Top 32, 15% or 15 times, so that's 19%. The top 8, only 2, a conversion rate of 3%.
Yikes.
78 times it was played. It made the top 8 twice all week. So it wasn't a good week.
That hurts.
Yeah.
All I can say is that hurts for Shiranui. And that just shows you the vast amount of people that play Shiranui versus the tops it receives. And yeah, we've been saying it week after week. Shiranui just has such representation. Here it is. And I'm glad we have the numbers now. Kudos to you, Circus.
All right. And now, moving on to the best deck in the game. Crystron's 4th place, up 2 from last week, 14 points. Actually won Battle Phase Friday. 2nd place in the PCT. Took -1, I should say, took 4th place with Chris Johns in the MCS.
Yes.
So what's up,
Right, I
Neg?
was just about to say, Neg1, shout out to him.
Yep.
Speaking top 4. Top 4. So if you guys want to see that in the link to in the description, I'll post a link to his deck list. How about that? But yeah, Chris Strons this week. Circus has been talking shit on Chris Strons for the past 3 weeks on
It
the
ain't
power
shit
rankings.
when you have it ain't shit when you have facts. That's all I'm saying.
So Chris Strons are back in the top 5, picking up a win in Battle Phase Fridays, and Neg1 had to silence Circus by getting top
4th
4
place on the
yeah.
power rankings ain't silencing anybody. I'll say that.
Top 4 finish at MCS, and he did it with side deck format in MCS. Yep. Mind you, not a no side deck event.
Now you're going to see the conversion rate on this is a lot higher.
Right.
42 times played, 13 in the top 2, so that's a 31%. And then top 8 is 4 for a 10%. So it's a little bit higher than like Dark Magician and Shiranui.
10%, just like Black Wings, higher than Shiranui. So there you go.
Yep. All right, moving along to the next spot. I think we're in 5th place now. Heroes. Didn't really score a whole lot. They got a tournament victory, and that's why they're here.
Right. Yep. And this is the part of the power rankings that is in the most flux. So Heroes leading the pack, snagging that 5th spot on the power rankings, picking up a win in the PCT, leading to the bulk of its points. And yeah, not much to say about Heroes. Too much. They haven't been really in the metagame a whole lot. Kind of just maintaining their spot as a relevant tier deck in the side deck format. Just doing what they do, picking up 8 points. Let's take a look at their conversion rate, though. I'm interested to see that.
27 times played, 12 made it into the top 32 for a 44% conversion rate, and then into the top 8 were 3 for 11%.
So definitely, with a competent pilot, you can do well with Heroes. So yeah.
All right, moving along. E-Sabers are next, 6th place, down 3 spots, 8 points. They won the MCS, so that's huge. But then that's really about it. They got top 4 in Battle Phase Monday.
That's it, yeah. E-Sabers would be down with like Blue Eyes and Lunalights if they did not pick up an MCS win this week. Obviously, MCS, huge event, really popular players. Whatever good player, whatever deck they chose, that won the MCS, they chose E-Sabers this week. So not so much to say about E-Sabers. They wouldn't have showed up on the power rankings if not for the MCS win. And of course, what is their conversion rate?
All right, overall 26 times played, 6 made it into the top 32. That's 23%. Top 8, 2. Conversion rate, 8%. So as you can see, a lot of decks aren't really that high. You'd think they'd be higher than they are, but for the most popular played decks, the conversion rate's right around 10% is what we're finding in this 1 week of doing it. We'll continue to track this in the future. All right, and the last one we're doing, 7th place, Cyber Dragons weren't even on the list last week. They won Battle Phase Monday, and then they took a top 4 in Battle Phase Friday. Not much to say there.
Right.
Yeah. Except he has.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say the numbers add like a whole new layer, of stuff to talk about for the power rankings. It's a nice touch.
Yeah. So we'll just jump into their conversion rate because not a lot happened with the deck. 23 times played, top 32 was 6, conversion rate of 26%. Into the top 8 twice for a conversion rate of 9. So I think it's pretty standard what we're seeing. Some decks do a little bit better, but it's right around that top 8 is about right around that 10%.
Yep. All right, that is the power rankings for this week.
Yeah, and if you guys liked it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, Twitch, Twitter, Discord, and don't forget about Gamersupps. You can use the code below to get 10% off. And they also have free samples. Check it out. Gamersupps. All right, so we're going to see you next time. I'm Circus. That's Kamell.
Peace out.
We'll see ya.
See you next week, guys.